Well, you're one of many families who have had experience in multiple regions in France, but have decided to kind of plant yourselves here in the Languedoc region. So why did you decide to come here?
Well, we looked at different places in France to expand our vineyards, and one of the the biggest vineyard of France is the Languedoc. So it has a variety of climate, of soils, and also grapes that you can grow. And after looking at all the different appellations, my father and I, in 2002, arrived at La Livinière, which had been recognized as a Grand Cru in '97. And it was just the beginning of the recognition of this appellation. The land was affordable compared to Bordeaux. The wines that we tasted at the times were very impressive, so that's why we decided to set foot in La Livinière and to invest in this region and produce some wines here since 2002.
Now, it's not really as easy as people think. When you take over a property, there's a lot of work to do before you can even start growing these vines, right?
Yes. Well, we had a very precise idea of the wine that we wanted to produce here, which relies a lot on the Syrah, the varietal that we believe is the best suited for this place. And we structured completely the estate. From 40 hectares, we downsized to 20. We uprooted a lot of Carignan, Cinsault, which were varietals that are very productive, but in terms of quality, they're not the best ones. You know, the Carignan, for instance, can produce a good quality wine, but it has to be very old Carignan. It has to be over 40 years old. So we kept the little Carignan that was very old, and we replanted most of the vineyard with Syrah. And today the vineyard is about 60 hectares with 70% Syrah planted.
Now, a lot of talk about Syrah. What is it about this region that is so Syrah friendly?
Well, the climate is a little bit similar to the Rhône. It's pretty hot. There is some wind also. Syrah has a relatively short cycle, which is perfectly suited for the climate. And we tasted many wines, and it appeared that Syrah, for some reason, shows the best finesse, elegance, and is really the best suited for this land.
And how would you say that Syrah would differ from, let's say, Syrah grown in the Rhône Valley and Syrah that is planted around the world?
Oh, well, every region has its own style, and it's very, very difficult to characterize precisely. In the rest of the world, in places like Australia, where Syrah is referred to as Shiraz, the wines are bolder, bigger, probably higher alcohol. In the Rhône, they express different aromatics. Here, they have, we believe, enough freshness, good acidity, good structure, and very nice flavors, and they're just different.
Mm-hmm. And there's also something in this region called the garrigue.
The garrigue,
which
exactly.
and explain what that is.
Well, the garrigue is a mix of different herbs and aromats that grow widely here, and that will give a taste to the wines here, because we believe that the grapes absorbs a little bit like a sponge all the flavors surrounding. If you have eucalyptus next to a vineyard, then you can, some Australian wine, for instance, you can taste the eucalyptus, a very milky taste. Same here with garrigue, and it makes the wine very spicy and very interesting, very typical of this region.
And I would think it would also make it a good food pairing wine, because it's a lot of herbs and lavender and thyme and those kind of flavors.
That's very interesting also, because you can match to the local dishes, to the game, to wild boars and ragout styles and all the specialties that you have in the region, yes.
Do you have a favorite food pairing?
I like roasted meats, so I like my wines with roasted meats and nicely spiced. It's just simply the best.
Now, you have been here for a few years now. You're just really getting your roots here, and is it working for you?
Yes, it's working. It's still a learning process because in terms of life of vineyard, we've been here for 8 years, and although some of the vines are old vines, a lot of plantations were done when we arrived. So we are still learning every day, but we think that after 8 years, we're getting closer to the initial idea that we had when we set foot here and producing the wines that we really wanted to produce.
How do you see this region evolving? What do you want to happen in the future?
Well, I think that there are more producers now that are focusing on quality. For historical reasons, the Languedoc had been used, so to speak, to produce mass market wines, but that does not mean that the potential for quality is not there. I think the terroir is really exceptional. The specificity of the wine is really important, and with the change in the consumption, with people drinking less but better quality wines, there is a real interest in finding the rising stars of the Languedoc, and more producers now are doing great wines, and the image is changing. And I think in the future that's really one of the wine regions you want to look at in terms of rising stars.
Yeah, that sounds great. I look forward to seeing you guys at the top of the charts.
Well, thank you. Yeah, we will.